Thank you. It's always a privilege. No, I don't need that. Thank you. It's all good. It's such a privilege to be here. I acknowledge the Yagara and Turrbal people and pay my respects to any First Nations people who are with us today. And the speakers all today have reminded us that we have a whole heap of things to be really, really angry about. And I think there are two things we need to do in response to that. One is to get a whole lot of other people angry about it, because there's a lot of sort of benign sort of disinterest in Australia, fabricated and perpetuated by the way a lot of the press works, so people don't hear the stuff they need to hear. So one of our jobs is to share stories with people so that they actually get angry, and then secondly to work out how to be angry while being a peacemaker. Because one of the things that I'm noticing happening in Australia is, while we are really worried about some of the really big issue stuff, as we've heard today, there's also a groundswell of violence happening all around us. Ever since the failure of the treaty referendum, there has been a resurgence in racism against our First Nations people. It's as if the failure of that treaty gave permission for people to become unfettered in that area. And so they're dreadful, certainly shame. And then that racism has continued to ripple out from our First Nations people to others. It's always been directed to the refugees, as we've already heard. And then that violence is begetting violence. And one of the huge challenges for us is to work out how not to give in to that process, to be angry without becoming violent. And it's incredibly difficult for us to do that. We've heard already some of our Muslim brothers talk about Jesus and his entrance into Jerusalem to face the powers, the religious powers and the occupying powers, and to do it in a peaceful way. That example was perpetuated by Gandhi in India and Martin Luther King in the States, and many other peacemakers who followed them. But there is a huge challenge for us, because we are first and foremost mimetic beings. So when someone yawns at the table when we're eating, we all yawn. When someone gets angry with us, we get angry in return. When someone hits us, we want to hit them back. And so we have a huge, huge challenge as we face this need not to get sucked into the cycle of violence. Because if we get sucked into the cycle of violence as we seek to try and make peace, then those who want to make war and who benefit from violence will win. Because as soon as you retaliate in anger or violence, they know exactly how to deal with you. And so on Palm Sunday, it's the day when we all dedicate ourselves not just to be interested in peace, but to dedicate ourselves to be peacemakers. To work out how, as we talk to our neighbours, we get them angry enough that they become peacemakers, but they don't become violent. It's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge for all of us. But on this day of all days, we dedicate ourselves to that purpose, because it's only through that sort of work that things actually get changed. If we are incited into violence by the violent, they will defeat us. And so the peacemakers, blessed are the peacemakers on this day. It is about making peace, not just being peaceful, not being disinterested. It's about being really angry and then turning that anger into transformative change using non-violent resistance. And so I commend to you the process of Palm Sunday, and please be angry and share that anger with others in a non-violent way. Thank you.